I went on a mud ride yesterday and I received a few questions about how I washed my bike after such a ride, so I thought I'd make a quick video showing you how I wash it. Preparation before washing the bike, the airbox was getting a little dirty, so I put a cover on after removing the air filter, and I've put a bung in the exhaust, and I've put it on a center stand so I can turn the wheels and wash them easily. For washing, I typically just use a regular hose. I have a power washer too, but typically I only use that if it's really caked in mud. The reason I prefer a regular hose is it's much less likely to damage the bearings and engine parts. If you do use a power washer, you need to be careful not to get water in the rear bearings, the rear shock bearings, particularly the lower one. And then the carburetor, you obviously don't want direct water in there. The output shaft, the fork oil seals, and the front wheel bearings you should be careful of. So to start with, I just spray the whole bike down and get the majority of mud off it. To wash the bike, I use a regular car shampoo, and you don't need much. I just use one capful of detergent, put it in a bucket, and then mix with some water. Once you've been over the whole bike with the shampoo and sponge, you want to rinse it off. If it's a hot day, you probably want to work on one section and rinse it off, otherwise it'll leave a film of mud. After riding in mud, be sure to spray some water through your radiator as well to clean out any that might be in there. Then to clean the white sections where your boots rub against the panel, I use some magic sponge, which works really well for removing any stains. It comes off very quickly. And then just rinse it after you've done it. After you've rinsed the bike, give it a few minutes for the water to drain off, and then I like to use a microfiber cloth to dry it off. Just go over the bike. If you have a compressed air source, you can use the air to blow out any water from areas where it's difficult to dry or takes a long time, like the fork caps. If you've got a steering damper, you can blow that off. And any recesses where the water collects. Then the last step is to use some polish. I use the Maximum SC1. You just simply spray it on to the bike, give it a few minutes to flash dry, and then polish it off with a cloth. You should be careful not to get it on brake components. You can use it on the plastics, any carbon fiber. And that's the bike washed, dried and polished. The only other thing I need to do is lube the chain. I have a separate video on that, so I'm not going to cover that in this one. One thing I do when I'm washing the bike is go over the whole bike while I'm washing it and make sure nothing is loose and broken, in particular the wheels. Obviously check all the spokes are tight and not broken, and all the parts, make sure nothing's loose, cracked, broken. If you do that, you should be in good shape for each ride and not experience any failures while you're riding. So I think it's important not just to keep the bike clean, but to keep it running smoothly.